I made a fan game that started as a joke, but here's how the story went. A few weeks ago, I made a Fnaf fan game for my friends. I wasn't planning to release it, but it ended up being one of my favorite projects. I was casually watching a live stream from this YouTuber named Flower Boy. We go way back, months ago, when we first met during one of my live streams and shared our game projects together. Eventually, he added my channel's face into one of his most notable games, A Night in a Scary Hallway. It inspired me to make some iterations with some original characters with similar mechanics. And now I'm repaying the kind favor of him featuring me in his projects. Now FNAF. Why?
Cause we're playing Bendy.
Well, for starters, it has been prevalent for over a decade, with so many games, books, movies, and the fandom and theories branching off from those sources have brewed a strong and everlasting community of dedicated fans. Now Flower, he loves FNAF, and I happened to be in one of his streams where he was playing a recent popular FNAF fan game, Five Nights at Fredbear's 3. In the middle of a challenge, I dared him, if you were to beat it, I'll make you a FNAF game. Flower said bet, and it didn't take long for him to actually beat the challenge.
Oh my god, I did it! 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 Let's go!
Damn, well, I gotta make a game now. Now, I didn't want this project to be somewhat serious while keeping that sort of survival horror experience, instead of making the same old FNAF surviving 5 nights sort of deal. Starting off, of course, we need the layout of the building. I hastily designed the office space with 2 doors to close and 2 vents near the ceiling of the room. We can easily shut the doors to prevent any animatronics from passing through. Anyone comes from the vents, you have your trusty lockers to hide from those with bad breath trying to greet you. There are other features on the monitor that tells the time, your power supply, and the rest I'll explain later. Now, the good part, the animatronics. Starting with the core cast, which that includes Flower, Killer, and of course me, JEGASES. These are the 3 key animatronics I plan on building that starts off in the main stage and make your way into your office, either by going to the right hall or the left hall. And in any typical FNAF fan game, you have to close the door once they reach right outside your office to make them leave. Then adding fuel to the fire, we gotta have some office threats. Those that aren't necessarily on the monitor, but still are kind of annoying to deal with. Now I want to mention hearing is an important factor in this game. If you ever been around Eevee before, you'll know one thing about him. He's loud, like really loud.
Oh my god!
So when I was designing this mechanic, I thought, how do I make that as annoying as possible? Throughout the night, he will appear in random spots in your office space. When you hear his laughing, he is in your office ready to attack. To counter this, I added a flashlight mechanic to banish him from existence. Now during this phase, I was kind of locking in on some of the mechanics and what I can add into the game. And one of those ideas was adding Mimic's cute little capybara that occasionally walks across your screen. If you see him, click on him to capture that little rascal before Papa gets angry. Then there's Voiceless, who also have a chance of appearing in your office, forcing you to stare deep into his beaming white eyes. And in order to get away from him, simply open the monitor again and close it. Or you'll drain a little bit of your power that you have left. Now that sounds manageable, right? Just close the door, shine the flashlight, check the cameras on your monitor. But as a game developer, and someone brimming with bright ideas, which results in a lot of bug fixes, I can't stop there! So of course we're going to be adding some more animatronics. Now obviously, if I'm making a game inspired by A Night in the Scary Hallway, I couldn't leave out the cast that started this whole thing. When it came time to add the Scary Hallway cast, I didn't want just to copy them directly. I wanted each character to feel familiar while fitting into the FNAF style gameplay. Take Terror TV for example. In the original game, he constantly spawns pop-ups on your screen, and if too many pile up, you're done. Since the game revolves around cameras and monitoring your surroundings, I figured the most annoying thing he could do was block your vision. So now he shows up specifically to make your job harder. Then there's Scythe, or as I like to call him, a Venturin. I suck, I'm sorry. In the original game, you have to hide before he reaches you, and honestly, that mechanic already fits perfectly into a FNAF setting. So he became one of the first vent animatronics. If you hear his approach or see him peek through the vents, that is your cue to get into the locker before he gets you. Now skin figure, I'm not gonna lie, it scares me a lot. In Scary Hallway, there's a chance he will appear at the end of the hallway, giving his one red eye that you can barely see from the darkness. If you notice him, you need to close the door until you hear a loud bonk. For Flower's game, I decided to make him even more stressful. Once you hear that same bonk, you have to be sure to close both doors. Windy was another easy choice. He's basically a living time bomb. If you stop paying attention to him, bad things happen. So naturally, his winding box mechanic made the jump over to Flower's game almost unchanged. Then we have the mouth. The mouth likes to whisper from the doorway. In the original game, he's only on one side. I thought it would be funnier if he could appear on either side, forcing you to panic check both doors while listening for those creepy whispers. And finally, John. John doesn't actually attack you. In fact, all you have to do is just leave him alone.
That's it.
Now, with all the main core characters that I've added into the game, I built the game and I hit that publish button. But that first release, we already had some issues. Characters that weren't activated before the night started appeared.
I don't have these people.
The reactions for the animatronics were too fast. Hiding in the locker and opening the monitor at the same time crashed the game, leaving you frozen.
I'm stuck.
Those were the prominent few that stood out and what I had to fix to make a proper custom night game. At this point, the game had a decent side cast already, but then Flower notified me to add more to the roster. Now, realizing halfway that adding characters in a set format is going to be difficult, it's like trying to squeeze yourself into a bus full of people. Now, I don't know a better name for this category, so I'm just gonna call it the extras. It's just basically the cast as an extension of our friend group's original creations. The first edition was Cap Glass.
Don't speak of that name.
I was sort of thinking how I could implement them with the system we already have already. It took me a long time to think about how to fill in everything while not making everything too compact. So as I was designing the office, I was thinking maybe adding a TV for this character. And basically, Cap operates through that TV in your office. And every so often, a symbol appears on that screen. And you have to use your monitor to solve a little challenge before he gets impatient. That's what these little buttons are here for. Then I noticed something. Flower and Killer attack from the right side. And I'm on my low sum attacking from the left side. Honestly, that felt kind of unfair. Well, for me. So I filled a role for Flower's other character that he wanted to add to the game, Greenie. Greenie basically joins Team Left Hall and he appears backstage and starts sprinting towards your office after he does a little laugh. If you don't shut the door in time, well, while we're talking about Greenie, oh, what's that smell? Oh no. See, that's Zophius, created by Wild Wolf. She's the main antagonist of his series, Corruption, and specializes in putting people to sleep with pink smoke. I thought that would be pretty fit for a survival game. So she fills in your office with that smoke and forces you to hide in the locker to clear your head. Then, of course, we have to add the good old look-away crew. That includes Trixie, Glimp, and Scrapjack. Trixie becomes her iconic audio threat. If her music system shuts down, you need to turn it back on before she pays you a visit. Glimp joined the Scythe squad, because apparently one vent character wasn't stressful enough. And Scrapjack teamed up with the Mouth, appearing at either doorway and forcing you to use your flashlight before he gets too comfortable. And then we have Lyra, created by Mimic. She's a stargazing survivalist who introduces an entirely new problem, alarm. Throughout the night, an alarm can begin blaring through the office. If you ignore it, Lyra steals your flashlight. Now that might sound bad, but trust me, if you were in my shoes, this would have been the right move. Because, as it turns out, it's a pretty important piece of equipment in a game where half the cast is scared of the light. Then finally, I was doing a little bit of experimenting for another roster, the Samson crew. Created by Trickskin, this is a 3-in-1 sort of deal. The guy smiling at you with an axe, Sam Samson, if he appears, you have to press the X key to eliminate him. If Gilbert appears, flip your monitor. And if Edwards appears, well, you don't have to do anything, because honestly, he's probably the nicest person in the building. And with that, I think that's all the characters that we need for this game. There's absolutely no way I could add more characters. What? This is Little Man. He's basically the game's DD. He increases difficulty, enables disabled characters, and generally exists to make your life miserable. But if you decide to set every character to 20 difficulty, he invites some extra guests. Here we have Chili, who joins Voiceless and punishes you for ignoring him. Then there's Yippee, who bounces around the screen like a DVD logo that escaped containment. And Reggie, who is also a part of the Lookaway series, but he's sort of the outcast of the group now. He's kind of like the weird cousin no one talks about. So naturally, I gave him his own mechanic. So whenever he feels like it, he appears in your office. And whenever his eye starts to glow, make sure you shock him or else he will attack you. And there you have it. I've created a complete game for my friends. You know, from all of this, I enjoy working this way. Despite the hard work, because releasing an early version of the game can help me get some productive feedback before actually making it whole, which is something I've never done in past projects. And after that, then I will start adding in the aesthetics that will make the game feel polished and balanced. I plan on carrying the action forward to construct better games with playtesters for better products. And I'm still updating Flower Boy's Funhouse today. In fact, you can play right now on my itch page. Be sure to check the link in the description. It's free to play, so give it a shot and let me know what you think in the comment section. And also my amazing friends who are in on this collab are there too, so check out their stuff as well. Until next time, check it out.